So now that we have reviewed all this information, I will give you the most logical depiction of what should be awaiting the world come December 21st or 23rd, 2012. One thing that is most probable to happen on or about this date is that the sun will hit its solar maximum. Due to the diminishing of the magnetosphere over the past several years, it is unclear what effects this will have on the Earth. It could affect the world minimally or fairly harshly. If it has a harsh effect on the Earth, it could escalate to a point of electrical outages in various places around the globe. Since the objective of the coming anti-Messiah is the one world order, the people who support his agenda, like the Illuminati or the so-called controllers of the world, will attempt to use this tumultuous situation to their advantage. So if these solar flares affect the world minimally, it is possible that these Illuminati will use technologies such as HARP to escalate the effects of the flares in certain areas to enhance their ability to underhandedly implement their agenda with little or no objection. This 2012 date will primarily be used to implement the One World Order, and there is no better way to implement this agenda than through fear and destruction. I believe these people will use whatever they can to bring the world to a point where people will be asking for the one world government. The next highly probable item that should come to pass shortly after this date is the revealing of aliens. The Mayan prophecies point to a return of their gods on this date. We're going to be aligned with the dark rift as we cross the celestial equator. I believe this dark rift is the bottomless pit referred to in the Bible and in the Great Pyramid of Giza, among others. This pit is where Satan and his demons come out of. These gods of civilizations past are the fallen ones of old. So if these aliens make themselves known on or about this date, many will be deceived into believing whatever these things choose to tell them. Considering this is Satan's time on earth, the message that these aliens will be procuring will coincide with the One World Order and the Anti-Messiah's agenda. These aliens, who are demons, will tell people that they have visited the earth many times in the past, and now is the time to help elevate mankind to a higher level, physically and spiritually. They will tell people that the Bible and all other religious beliefs are all allegorical, and that we must all become one under the one world order and one world religion. It probably won't be coined as a religion per se. It will be highly humanistic, and many will think it is the true and proper way. Remember, Satan is coming to earth to rule, and he wants people to get along with some sort of cohesiveness. Otherwise, there would not be anyone to worship him. The ones who will not adhere to these humanistic values will be put to death, and many people will support that process because they believe that religion has been the reason for all the wars and unrest in the past. So rid the world of religious people, and the world will have peace. It is the perfect way to eliminate the world of God's righteous ones and elevate Satan as the god of this world. Also, if these aliens or demons somehow help the governments of the world divert most of the damaging effects of potential earthly cataclysms on or about the 2012 date, this will greatly enhance their credibility with the world. The current pope will die during this time period, and his successor, the false prophet, will be given abilities by the demons to do great miracles. This false prophet will manipulate people's thinking so as to elevate the anti-Messiah to Messiah status. The anti-Messiah will be pronounced as the Messiah of the world. He will be the false Messiah, incarnate of all the religions of the world wrapped into one, thus unifying the world to one faith. If God is going to use this 2012 date in any way, then the 10 days of awe, which will be a 10-year period, will have commenced on Rosh Hashanah of 2012, which will start at sunset of September 16th of that year. The next 3 years after the 2012 date will be used to help the world recover from any damage, natural or man-made. that may have happened on or about that date. This will once again help unify the world to a point where the 7-year peace treaty in the Middle East will be signed. This will be the trigger point and the onset of the tribulation period. I believe the damage caused during the 2012 celestial equator crossing and the rebuilding process thereafter will be the only way a bona fide peace treaty could be signed in the Middle East. The Bible tells us that the walls around Israel will come down and they will live an unguarded life. I cannot see how that will happen, considering any treaty that has been signed in the past has not stopped the Palestinians or other Muslim terrorists from continuing to fire rockets into Israel. Thus, if the walls come down by an alternate destructive force and the people have to work together to rebuild, then a peace treaty would be more likely. With the world in a unified state, the plagues that God will send can commence. This will most likely be when Nerubu, or Planet X, will pass by, coinciding with what we are told will happen in the book of Revelation, and causing many of the effects that I have previously discussed. The destruction that God will send down to the earth will once again cause strife to the world and hence division among the nations. Mark 3:24 tells us, if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. This will escalate to a point where Russia and the Arab nations will attack Israel, and, as the Bible tells us, it will continue until the whole world comes against Israel. This is when Yeshua will finally make his triumphant return. All that is written must come to pass. I believe this is the most probable scenario, that is, if this 2012 date is going to be part of God's plan. If it is not, then one should prepare for some sort of destructive force, just as all the governments of the world are doing with their bunkers and underground cities. We must note that there are many ancient underground cities around the world, such as the one in Turkey called Derinkayu. This complex underground city could house as many as 20,000 people. It had dining areas, kitchens, warehousing, a school, plenty of sleeping area, and a magnificent exhaust system. This was all dug out as deep as 85 meters below the surface. This would have been a massive undertaking even for today's standards, and there are others elsewhere around the world. So the question is, why did these ancient people want or have to live underground? Were they trying to survive through a global catastrophe? Is this a cyclical catastrophe that can be repeated in our time? The odds seem to be in favor of something happening on or about this date. Could all these ancient civilizations be wrong? Is it some sort of collective joke? I think not. But if this is some sort of point of no return, so to speak, then Yeshua's return will be in 2023 or thereabouts, which does work within the Jubilee year estimates. So now is the time to be righteous to the Most High. Luke 21:36 says, "Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man." If you are on the right track with Yahweh and want to be worthy, then being in Jerusalem for the high holy days of the year 2012 should be on your agenda. I hope these videos have been of some help to those who truly love Adonai. Thank you for watching. With love and shalom.